Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Oh boy, ladies, ladies of the WNBA. If I may call you that, if that's not too offensive, you you need a reality check. You gotta look in the mirror, take a deep breath, and say, "Hey, you know what? I done lost my mind." Okay, now you even have, guess what? Not Caitlin Clark fans, not the people that you can smear with your nonsense about ist this and phobe that and all this other crap that you like to spew. No, no, no. We have the very respectable, very respected Rebecca Lobo coming and telling you to knock it off. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Rebecca Lobo, worried WNBA players are losing fan support in CBA talks with good reason. And they made it far worse. Speaking of Caitlin Clark fans, we'll get to that in a minute with something the WNBPA actually dared post on social media. They might want to get someone else to run that account. When a deal is presented that's over a million max salary and revenue share, it's called a slap in the face. Just use different words. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if different words will do it, but it might lessen the ridiculousness of the blow from a bunch of spoiled, entitled little brats, right? You've got a salary situation that's gone from what is the minimum rookie salary? It's in the 60s, right? I know Caitlin's was in the 70s, but that's because just like the NBA, it's tied to where you are drafted. And then you have a max salary. I believe the super max was like 249 and change, basically $250,000. And the WNBA has taken that to where the minimum is, and I think it's in the article. We'll scroll down right around where the super max was, and the max is a million to I believe a million three as we progress through the CBA, it increases. And players saying it's a slap in the face. Here's what's wild. They already make more, and even the I believe the rookies, right? Like the high level rookies like Caitlin Clark, even just on her salary, everyone talks about how little it is compared to her endorsements, which is irrelevant, but that's still more than the average American makes for 4 or 5 months of bouncing a ball. And I'm not trying to diminish the skill of basketball. I'm just trying to give you some perspective on, I don't know what actually matters and what keeps society going. It's probably truckers and plumbers and construction workers and teachers and firefighters and so forth, not people bouncing a basketball. I'm just saying to maybe keep that in perspective, which, although she doesn't come out and say it that way, is sort of Rebecca Lobo's point as well in that disconnect. Say, hey, you're pissing off fans because while the impulse, I think, initially for a lot of people is to side with the athletes because they look at it as employee versus big corporation. You even saw back in Major League Baseball, it got to the point where people were just like, really? The amount of money y'all are fighting over and complaining about is so beyond ridiculous. And Major League Baseball had to climb out of quite a dip in terms of fan support for a while, and it basically took a juiced up home run error to do it. But anyway, as All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis last year, players wore T-shirts with the message "Pay us what you owe us." Went viral online. It earned applause from the live crowd. The clapping seals appreciated it. Away from the live crowd, a lot of people, again, just like the salary increase being a slap in the face. A lot of people did not like that "pay us what you owe us" when the league was supported by the NBA for almost 3 decades. What exactly are you owed, right? That's what a lot of people were asking. You had Nafisa Collier, where they're coming out and saying Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA is the worst leadership in the world. And what Lobo said on a podcast earlier this week, episode of A Touch More, At that time, fan support for the players was 100%. I don't necessarily agree with her, but like I said, again, because of the impulse, I think it was absolutely a majority for the players. But then, as what Rebecca's getting to, as negotiations dragged on, as we see what the WNBA was offering versus what they currently have, and then what the players were countering with, which was like taking the massive increases that the WNBA was offering and basically doubling them, was like, wait, I mean, that's what they did with the salary. I think the salary cap for the WNBA was around 5 million, maybe 5.5, and then the which was what I think it was currently this past year 1 million something, right? And then the WNBA PA came back with like 10.5 million, which is insane. Some of the rhetoric I've heard, this is Rebecca, from their side has been a little bit troublesome, she said. When a deal is presented that's over 1 million max salary and revenue share, it's called a slap in the face. Just use different words. And I'm worried the players might be getting to a point where they're losing some of the support from the public. And I think that's been a big part of this all along. And yeah, I agree with her 100%. Here it is, the most recent proposal. Let's see if it has the min. The max salary would rise from just under 250 to more than 1.3, average from 120 to more than 530. Okay, it doesn't have the minimum, but I believe the minimum was 60 something, right? For like a veteran minimum or even a rookie if they're drafted in the later rounds. And then but the average again is six figures. The average is six figures. A lot of people work much harder year round to get maybe a week or two of vacation for less money than that. I'm just saying, right? And those are the people supporting the game. Now, if you want to grow as big as, say, the NBA, the Major League Baseball, NFL, and stuff, the salaries can get insane, and you're so big that people thinking you get paid too much isn't going to do put much of a dent in it. But as these negotiations have gone on, it feels like some of the fan support is waning, Lobo said. And I think some of it has just been the language and the verbiage and that sort of thing that we've heard from the Players Association. I think the players just need to be a little bit more careful with how they're articulating things. Because if you're working whatever job, this is kind of what I've been saying, a max salary of 1.2 million, average salary of 500,000. If you don't think it's fair, that's fine, but don't call it a slap in the face. 100%. And again, that is the problem that we've seen with this league throughout. As Caitlin Clark brought a whole new fan base into the league, is man, these players make it really difficult to support them. We want to do it. We want to watch good basketball, first of all, but they're just making it like almost impossible. And I want to finish up with one thing because this is kind of goes to show that, yeah, they're not listening to Rebecca. This was posted I think on their Instagram. And by the way, hold on, I want to go back and I gotta shout out real quick here. Dave, I gotta shout out Dave Burney on this because he tagged me to let me know about this article. So thank you, Dave. I really do appreciate that. And check this out, folks. The 2025 WNBA season has set records for attendance, both in total and per game, even before the playoffs. More than 3 million fans have flocked to see stars, speaking of words and meaning, like Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces and Alyssa Thomas of the Phoenix Mercury. By many measures, it's been the most successful season in league history, but the players aren't fully sharing in that success. So there again, they're going with the gibberish. But on top of that, this is also going to lessen fan support because again, most of your fans are Caitlin Clark fans. And speaking of slap in the face, here is one. No one, no one, no one is flocking to an arena to watch Alyssa Thomas play basketball. It has never happened. It will never happen. Now, you may have people that are Alyssa Thomas supporters for other reasons, but none of them are flocking to an arena to watch her play basketball. Multiple times, by the way, she's accused Caitlin Clark fans of hurling slurs at her, a game with no evidence whatsoever. We know Asia Wilson has done similar things. So, again, not only is it a slap in the face to not acknowledge Caitlin Clark at all when it's all been about Caitlin Clark, but then to include players like Asia Wilson and Alyssa Thomas, slap in the face. They just refuse to acknowledge it. It's pathetic at this point. WTF, Alyssa Thomas. Like, you've got to be joking. Where are the cameras? Well, using Paige's name didn't work, so let's try some other names. Just got to laugh and keep it pushing. More reason I won't spend a dime outside of CCFC. Thomas Center Bully Ball, so much fun to watch. Not. I'm assuming they mentioned these players because those teams were in the finals of 2025. Who knows? Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. You're a better person than me, CT. They couldn't use Paige's name, and Fever fans were definitely hate watching those games. Yeah, true. Um, I went to my first three WNBA games this year, but I can't guarantee you neither of those players were playing in those games. Now, look, hey man, social media is not real life, no doubt about that. But as you can see in the comments, so a whole lot of people pushing back and say, and this again is just more fuel to be like, yeah, you know what? Just get a damn deal done. We're sick of the players and the way they're acting and what they're asking for. It is too much. Their attitude is too much. You need to get a deal done. We need to see a league. Remember, the expansion draft was what? In December last year. I forget. I want to say early December, but that might have been when the protected list had to come out, right? So we've got to get a protected list. We've got to have the expansion draft. We got to have a period of time for free agency in which other than rookies, almost all the league is a free agent except for a few players. So that's going to be insane. So there's got to be time to get that done. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill by now. Help me reverse that negative subscriber. It's depressing as hell to go into my account and see negative subscribers for the past month. Anyway, go have the day you deserve. Shout out to the 19.